This Plusable Talks episode is made possible by Cherry Media, Eiffel, Dreamplay Media, Paco Luca, Moda Media.
Welcome everyone to another Plusable Talks episode. I'm 𝐃𝐝𝐬𝐬, and today I have the honor of introducing to all of you the living legend of the New York hardcore movement, founder of bands such as Crown of Thornz, Scarhead. Welcome, Danny Diablo, the actor, the producer, the artist, the living legend. Welcome to Plusable Talks.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. This is kind of cool. We're in Newark, you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool we're doing this in Jersey. And thank you for breakfast.
How good is that?
Amazing. I love it. I love Portuguese food.
It's one of those best kept secrets. In Newark, you eat really amazing Portuguese food.
Amazing.
Not everybody knows that. And you're a travel guy, so you've played in Portugal at least 10 times.
Yeah, I like
it does justice, don't you think?
I think it's cool. Like you know, I grew up in Jackson Heights, Queens, so it's I grew up in a whole ethnicity. People was like Guinness Book of World Records. Jackson Heights, Queens is the most countries in one area in the world. Mm-hmm. So I grew around everyone. My mother's Puerto Rican. My father's is a judío, Jew. So I'm fucked up. So you can say that, whatever. You mean, like, so I grew up Spanish and Jewish. So I never considered myself like, you know, people like, hey, white boy. I never consider myself white. People would consider Puerto Ricans definitely not white. You know what I mean? My mother is dark as hell. You know what I mean? So, but you tell a Puerto Rican that they're black, they're gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. My mother's like, yo, fuck you, I'll smack you in the face right now. So that's how this life is. People say, you know, people would say this and that. And said I grew up as a Puerto Rican Jew, so I was never considered a white boy and like that. I grew up, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I grew up with different other Spanish people. We all grew up together with Ecuadorian, Nicaraguan, Colombian, Venezuelan, fucking, you know, Argentine. You know, we all grew up together.
And do you think that background, Jew and Puerto Rican, and that
definitely? Listen, if I grew up Jewish in Jackson Heights with a red afro. So, like, imagine walking in Jackson Heights in the 70s with a red afro. My father was a cop. He had blue eyes. You know, he had red hair. My mother looked like Aunt Jemima. So it was crazy. You know, so like, I grew up fighting my whole life.
You had to toughen up.
Yeah, I had to toughen up, and that's life. But nowadays, these kids, you say something wrong, they cry, and that's it. They were saying horrible stuff to me, but made me strong, made me stronger. And I was like, if I can get through that, I can get through anything in life.
Right. Do you think that we were talking about this, and the New York hardcore became a genre of music? Yeah, it's a culture, it's a way of being, but it also has a sound.
It has a sound.
And do you think that has to do with that kind of life, city life, New York, that tension? Because it's really raw and it's really intense and very real.
If you listen to like New York hardcore, and you listen to like punk rock from LA, it's two different things, two different worlds, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think our music was because we're all from people from LA that are in bands, their fathers or their mothers are in the business, they're lawyers in the business. So they're like, oh, I'll get my son the best contract in the world. Our parents work for sanitation or the city or work a regular job as a waitress. So they're like, yo, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go to school. Why are you doing this stupid music for? You know what I mean? And that's how we're different. Because I never thought I was gonna be a musician. You know what I mean? I thought I'd be either work construction, which I do, or collecting money, which I do. So I mean, so I'm from the neighborhood. So like, for me to get out of the neighborhood and see the world through music, that was a blessing. Because I only been to 2 places before music. And when I was a little kid, my this is crazy. My mother, we went on in the 70s. We went to Rhode Island in a Volkswagen Bug in the 70s. My mother wanted to see the first Portuguese synagogue was in Rhode Island. The first Jews that came to the United States were from Portugal. How crazy is that? So my mother wanted to go see the synagogue, and we went there. And all I remember seeing cornfields, and that was it. The second place I went to was Puerto Rico when I was like in '84, And besides that, I'd never been outside Queens. Then I went on tour in 1992 with Sick With All as a roadie. And ever since then, from music, I've been touring the world since 1995 straight, 10 times over.
And after that tour, so you were telling me that Sick of It All really opened.
They're one of my favorite bands growing up, and I was friends with them. And me and Toby from H2O, Toby Morse, we were the roadies, and we went on tour with them. And it changed my life. I was like, I want to be like, I saw the singer. I play bass, but I was like, bass players don't get the attention like the singer does. Yeah, so I was like, I want to become a singer. That was it. And I never sang before, and that's it. And I became a singer.
And also a great important figure for the movement and for the culture, but also for you to become more of a part of it was Vinny Stigma as well.
Stigma,
from Agnostic Front.
I want to tell you about
shout out to Agnostic Front.
Shout out Agnostic Front. I just did a tour with them.
And Sick of It All.
And Sick of It All. Vinny Stigma is. I was worried about my life, what's going on in my life, and every day on the tour I would talk to Vinny Stigma. I know Vinny Stigma since I was 16 years old. Vinny Stigma was from Little Italy, and he's 66 years old. So I'm thinking about my life is over. I broke up with my girlfriend. I got nothing. And I look at Vinny Stigma. He's still 66 years old, and he's still playing hardcore shows, and he's happy. Like, I've never seen a man so happy. Like, every day talking to him, just drinking coffee with him, talking to him would make me happy. You know? So that guy really, it was for that guy, I look at him in his life, and like, he is blessed. And Vinny Stigma is one of the most nicest people in the world. And Agnostic Front deserves their credit. And the documentary came out, and they are doing it. And they took my band Crown Thornz out. We just did 2 tours with them, and we just got home 2 weeks ago, and it changed my life. You know, so thank you Agnostic Front, and thank you Sick With All. I love you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, there would be no Danny Diablo.
To give it a little bit of context for people who don't know or are not in tune with the hardcore scene, Agnostic Front is arguably the biggest hardcore band.
Biggest hardcore, biggest.
New York.
New York City, definitely. Roger Moret from Agnostic Front. Everyone thinks punk rock is like for like white kids and all that. Roger is straight from Cuba. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people don't know that. They're like, but we're street kids, and we have our own scene, and we live that lifestyle, and we're true to that lifestyle. And I'm so happy that the older bands are getting their recognition, like from the documentary, and they're making their money. Agnostic Front just had a new flannel on the Dixon flannels. Just put out a new flannel with them. Agnostic Front, and they did one for Suicidal Tennessee. So it's a big thing. So I'm so happy for Agnostic Front to gain their past due, you know what I mean, and respect.
Yes, this documentary is on Showtime. So if people would like to
Godfathers of Hardcore.
Godfathers of Hardcore. So it's pretty cool. So it's interesting because technically, and it boils down to a bunch of New York kids.
Yeah.
A lot of Jersey kids too. A lot of Jersey, like this tri-state area, like Jersey, New York, mainly.
Yeah, Jersey, when they say New York Hardcore, a lot of dudes from Connecticut too. So it's Jersey, Connecticut, and Long Island, inner city. But I'm telling you, New York Hardcore influenced like bands like Pantera, bands like Soulfly, all influenced by New York Hardcore. I mean, so it's cool.
I remember when I was playing with the band at a last minute show, and I had to learn all these. I don't know what happened to their drummer, but they called me. Oh, we have a show in an hour, and I knew it was like punk, like a punk band, and I was like, and some friends of mine, and I was like, an hour, and they're like, forget it. I already canceled the show. I was like, nope, call them back.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
You rocked it,
and we rocked it, and it was great. And I was remember learning the songs, and every time there was a little bit more of a breakdown, like more and they would be like, good. That's more like New York hardcore, and New York hardcore became a reference in music, and that whole.
It has soul. It
has soul. All the other bands are like a hardcore, like, and you guys are always like,
it's a groove.
It's a groove. You're like, let's jump, let's be. And I guess there's a little bit also of that hip hop culture involved.
Salsa, everything we grew up with. So if we grew up in the street and we're listening to like merengue salsa in the house, like it's Hoyer. I'll put it this way: Hoyer from Madball. Anything that Madball plays that has a groove, I call it Corona groove metal. But anything that groove, that's definitely from Hoya. Because that's how he moves. That's how like back and forth the bass. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's cool to see. Like Hoya's a Nicaraguan Ecuadorian. So it's like we start laughing. We say we go all over the world. People like the white boy music. We're like, what are you talking about? You're like, it's but that's how people are. It's like graffiti. Same thing. Like when people see like we went from the streets of graffiti and people. Not people from Jersey or the East Coast, Philly. It's people from overseas or like the Midwest. They're like, oh, that's only like you guys can't be doing graffiti. That's the black people. I was like, yo, bro, we're like the best breakdancers are Puerto Rican and best graffiti writers are Puerto Rican and white boys. So that's how we grew up. You know what I mean? Like it's like, and it's if you're not from there, it's like when people say when like, hip hop started, and it was like Puerto Ricans and blacks started hip hop. And Fat Joe said, all these new kids who are woke, like, how dare you, the 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Fat Joe's a real fucking gangster. Like, wrote graffiti, I know Fat Joe. I mean, like, that dude's a real person. And how you gonna call him 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐿? It's like, like, they don't know because they're from fucking a little town in Arkansas and they think that they see like a Spanish people doing something and they think, oh, it's like you took our things. Like, nah, bro, this is us. This is my culture. Graffiti's my culture. Hardcore's my culture. Hip hop's my culture. I'm a street guy. That's my culture. You know what I mean? So when someone from fucking a little town that's like talking shit, I'm like, yo, shut up. Stay over there, man. Like it's so weird. It's just weird. Like they'd be like, I never heard the word wigger in my life until like the Midwest. I was like, what the fuck is a wigger? You know what I mean? Like, the fucking thing. Like I'm like, no, that's how we talk, the way we talk, and act the way we act. We went from our street and our neighborhood. No one's gonna tell me how to speak. Now you can't say this and that. I'm like, stop. You know what I mean? Like I speak the way I speak. You know what I mean? Like as long as you don't hurt children and women, you're cool with me. I mean, that's what I'm still saying. Just be respectful. That's all.
Right. And what do you think that makes your culture in the New York hardcore scene, the New York hardcore scene? Like, what makes it so unique? It's a mix.
Well, first of all, if you like New York hardcore or punk rock, there's something wrong with you. so you're like a misfit. I mean, either people go into the rave scene, which is all drugs and everything like that, or they go to the punk rock scene or the goth scene, but they all branch off. Like the Misfits, the biggest punk band in the world from Jersey. You know, and the goth scene just becomes with the Misfits. That's all that stuff. But I'm saying, like, but if you like that, if you like this music, there's a connection between you because like you have to be different. You can't. Most of the world is Abercrombie and Fitch or fucking The Gap. You know that like 88.9% of the world is that. The other percentage is what we like and stuff like that. So we know what's cool, but the most of the world is not up on what cool stuff is. So like that's why generic music is playing on the radio because they're going to the masses. The masses don't really give a fuck about musicianship. They don't care about the scene. They just want to hear something that's cool in the background. Or wear a T-shirt of a band they don't even know. So you can't get mad. People make money. Corporations make money. And as a businessman, I'm learning how to make money too. Like right now, I'm sober now, but my band Scarhead is all about drugs, money, and sex, and whores and stuff like that. So I can't stop singing the thing. So you know what I mean? I'm still gonna put out
Is that thugcore?
Thugcore. I'm still gonna put out a crazy T-shirt with like say some crazy stuff. But I'm just like I just had to be sober because of myself and because I gotta be true to myself now. And plus I'm hitting another level of my career and I'm doing the acting and stuff like that. So I can't show up to do a role all fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like so.
Right. And it's your 10th day of sobriety. How's that going for you? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
My man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank God for that double espresso.
But in your mind, I understand that, like, and you live that life and you're a rock star, first of all, and you're the definition of true rock star, just being underground, very real, very truthful, very coherent as an artist. Like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, no matter how I'm going to get there doing this and being creative and selling your art and stuff. But now, and a lot of crazy nights and party and cocaine. And now you've reached a point where, no, I gotta change that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because my son's gonna be 14 years old And when I broke up, when I got divorced by my ex, I'm not talking shit about her. She was a good mother. We had beef. She won't let me even talk to my son. But I pay child support. I do everything I'm supposed to do in life. And but one day he's gonna come to me. I'm pretty sure when you're 13, 14 years old, you start hating your fucking parents. And be like, fuck you. I'm waiting for it to come. Like, I want to live with daddy. So I'm like, God, here it goes. So I'm moving to Milwaukee, opening up a business. The record company, Force 5 Records, that I'm on, got me a place to live. I'm going to open up a tattoo shop, barber shop, music shop, and graffiti art supply shop called Diablo's Den. So that's what I'm going out there in December. I'm finishing up some shows I have on the East Coast and leaving December. But it is hard. It's hard to separate the business from the streets. You know what I mean? So I need more clarity. So that's why I did this. But I went to see Cypress Hill 2 nights ago, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go see Cypress Hill. And usually I get fucked up at the Halloween thing. And I saw KRS-One perform. He killed it. Cypress Hill. So Sendog, we were talking. Eric Bobo, we were talking with Be Real. They killed it. Sick of It All played. They killed it. And Ill Bill played. And Ill Bill performed with Slain, who's to both my brothers. And Nems. Shout out to Nems. All three of them were like, they're like, yo, you're sober? I said, you guys are sober too, huh? I said, we always get fucked up together. I was like, so we're all sober now. I was like, I feel old as fuck. I said, but they performed and we had a good time. And it's my first time going to a show and not worried about getting where we had 2 8-balls from and go to the bar and hang out. You know what I mean? It would be a whole situation. I went straight home, walked my dog, and went to bed.
And how do you feel now?
I felt like an old fucking man, but still, I was like, fuck them. I was like, I can just make one phone call right now and call some girl over and fucking go crazy for 5 hours. But I was like, then I'll, it's, I can't say it. It's like people are telling me, thank you for doing this. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, every day I open my fucking thing on Instagram, it's fucking 20 messages of people saying, thank you for getting sober. I'm getting sober too. And I'm like, oh my God. Now I gotta do that. I got all this fucking shit. Now all these guys are gonna relapse if I fuck up. I'm like, I gotta keep it. I gotta do it for the fans. I gotta do it for everyone. I gotta do it for myself. More fact, I gotta do it for my mother. Because my mom doesn't listen to shit, but mom, I love you. But I'm saying like, my mom, thank God she doesn't like listen to my shit because all my friends are like, yo, you talk shit, I'm gonna send your mom your lyrics. I'm like, God, don't do that. Playing joking around, but. It's like, I feel better. I feel like I walk my head up higher in the morning. And when I'm fucked up if I was fucked up here, going here, I'll be like, make excuses up. I'm late for 2 hours. I can't do that anymore. I get people look at me. I gotta show people that I'm on point and they could put that time and energy in me and believe in me. That's what I want to do in life. You know?
And if your mom also has an inspiration.
You know what? I love my mom. You know, people who hate their parents and stuff. Fuck you. I love my mom. You know,
She was a true fan.
Like that poor lady. I put her through hell. So shout out to her. You know.
So what sometimes people also don't know is not only you're a singer. You're also a producer.
Yeah.
You're also a graffiti artist. Actually, tell me a little bit of how do you live between those two different worlds of different art expressions, whether a painter, graffiti artist, singer.
All that stuff is outlets of artistic outlets, and it's like anything else. It's like some people. I know people that go to the studio and they have to smoke weed. You know what I mean? And that's how they that's the biggest thing I get scared. I get scared if I stop doing drugs that my shit will be whack. Because the artist was dope and all of a sudden a new album was shit and they started the sober, like that shit was horrible. You know, and I was like, please don't let that happen to me. And I went to a studio like last night. Last night I killed it, and my rhymes were more ignorant than ever. It was like fucked up. It was cool. We could start laughing, but it's like I gotta keep it still street. Hopefully I'll progress to like maybe spreading more knowledge. You know what I mean? Like I saw KRS-One the other day, and I don't know why. Maybe I was sober, but I seen him like 10 times. But I saw KRS-One the other night, and he spoke to me in a way I never spoke. I felt like I felt chills. I felt like he was speaking to me. Like I was like, maybe it's that I got contact high, something for all the weed in Cypress Hill. I was like, yo, but this guy is amazing. And I was like, he was talking about something that really stuck in my mind. He talked about there's a higher being, about God. And in my whole life, I was like, yo, there is a God. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Jewish. You know what I mean? So I'm not the church guy or anything. But I believe always in karma and a higher being. I believe in God. And I was like, yo, this is something that there. And I was like, me being 50 years old, I'm like, yo, there is a God. You know what I mean? It's like, all these people say there's no God until they're stabbed on the floor or shot. Like, God help me. Every time I've been stabbed 3 times. You know what I mean? Like anytime people shoot at me or a fucked up court battle, you know, and I'll be like, God help me, please. And I'm like, God, I know you're listening, and He has helped me out so much in my life. So I know there's a God, but I'm saying like creating flows, like producing, all that stuff is in me, and I gotta get it out somehow, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So I'm not these dudes, these rapper guys come and start rapping, like put a beat. I don't freestyle. I don't even like hearing my own voice when it's in the studio by yourself. I'm like, oh God, take this shit off. I mean, mm-hmm. But my thing is, when I'm in the studio, if I'm doing an album with someone, I like doing the beats. I like making beats in the spot and working there. I like working with the other artists. Mm-hmm. Instead of like doing like rapping, you can do like send someone just a session they're doing. I like bring the guy in and work on music together, eye to eye.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that with time, and you told me about those street encounters, yeah, life has made you more of a religious person now?
When I was little, they forced me to go to the synagogue every high holiday, like that, and I was like, I got to put a yarmulke on my head, and I had an afro. A little kid, I had a big buck teeth, red, I was an orange afro, and I had to walk to the synagogue, and people were like, "You Jew," and those nigger, Hispanic. They didn't even know what I was because it was like we were walking that together, and I hated it because I was like, "Oh man, well, I'm different. You know what I mean? Then now it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like I see the older dudes I know grew up were really religious, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's really religious. Like, and as you get older, you get closer to time of leaving this earth. So I guess you want to make your peace on this earth and with God. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm not there right now, but 10 days ago I was fucking sniffing fucking cocaine and meth off some hooker's ass. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, you understand? So right now, you know.
Right. So this is definitely a new chapter of your life.
Yes.
And you feel accomplished?
You know what? Today, doing your thing and talking to me, and it feels good that someone acknowledges that, and especially another musician. So that's cool as fuck. Like we played together at Diablo Fest when we played with Justina Valentine, and people loved it. It was cool to see other people, musicians, that everyone like. If you're doing music and this, we all have other things we do to pay the bills. You understand? So it's like when people see me, like some of my friends are like, why you post that you do construction? They don't want to see that shit. But I was like, no, my fans want to see I'm a real person. I got problems. You know what I mean? Like we all got problems. We all fucking have vices. If you don't, my friends like, if you don't, like the guys in my band, the one guy doesn't drink. I'm like, yeah, you don't drink, but you're a degenerate gambler. You mean the other guy borrows money. The other guy fucking smokes crack. You know, like we make fun of each other all night. And we're all brothers. You know? But it's like I can't make fun of them anymore because cocaine to me was a crutch. You understand? And I'm thinking I'm better than you because you. He's like, you smoke crack. I'm like, you fucking crackhead. Meanwhile, I'm sniffing fucking 2 8 balls in the back, man. It's just funny shit.
Do you think that drugs impacted your career negatively?
I don't know. Listen, I think drugs has made my life fucking insane, but also I have a great life. You understand? But sometimes enough is enough. That's what I'm saying. Right. Like I have a son. I wouldn't want my son to do drugs. Right. I don't know, but it's like Like I talk about drugs. Drugs like I never did heroin. I never did crack. You know why? Because everyone I know does heroin, crack, and fucking were the coolest guys in the world, the head of the world. All of a sudden they're fucking homeless or fucking dead in jail. Right?
Right. Do you think that at this point, after all you've gone through, and with your successful stories of touring the world and all, more and more do you think that you're becoming more of an inspiration? And do you feel that responsibility now that you're more sober and it's like it's just there's because sometimes drugs can kind of shield you because you hide behind the drugs. I'm just crazy. But now it's like no, this is Danny Diablo sober.
I might be even crazier sober. I don't know, but I'm saying, but now these kids are hitting me up and they're like, no, they're getting sober, and I'm like, God, I can't fucking let these guys down. You mean, like, so I'm saying this. I'm gonna do this until I don't want to do cocaine ever again. But so if Sofia Vergara came in right now and was like, hey, let's do cocaine in the back of the club, I'm gonna go back in the club with Sofia Vergara and do cocaine with her. You know what I mean? It's like Pamela Anderson came, hey, do coke on my tits. I'll be like, hold on, guys, I gotta do this. Right? But that's if I'm saying for reality, I'm happy the way I am. I'm not a drinker. Am I gonna go to New Year's Eve do a toast? Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I'm family. I don't have a problem with that. My problem was partying as a social thing, doing cocaine, and it really killed my emotions. It killed a lot of things in my relationship because I always needed it to function, and I don't need it. But the thing is, it was a hell of a great time. You know? So sometimes I'm gonna sit there. It's only been 10 days, bro. But sometimes, I can't go back. And I promise myself that. So I'm just gonna do what's good for me, what's the best thing for my life.
And you, of course, and kudos to you. And you've proved throughout your life that we were always very resistant. One of the things that I really respect about you is that you're real. You come from the streets. You live that lifestyle is very harsh. You did that tour with Sick of It All, and then after that, you put Crown of Thornz together.
Yeah, but I put Crown. I did the tour with them. Then I was in the hospital for 2 months. I got stabbed up, and
what happened?
And I was working for my friend's family, doing construction, and someone's breaking into a car. And went out to my ex-girlfriend's car, Anthony Commonally's sister, Barbara Ann Commonally, with Anthony Commonally from Killing Time. So I went outside, I punched the guy in the face, but when I punched him, he stabbed me with my 8-inch flathead screwdriver. This got stuck in my thing. I beat him down. And the funny thing was, when I caught him, my friend AJ was with me, who lived in there, and we fucked the guy up bad. So I thought we killed the guy. So we go upstairs, grab it. I didn't know I got stabbed. I pulled the thing out. I gave it to the guys in the bakery, and ran upstairs, and I collapsed. Then I had to go to the hospital or whatever. But my boy AJ, he's a Navy SEAL now. He's like the oldest Navy SEAL, became as the oldest level, like 30-something. But he was in a movie about Navy SEALs. There's a movie called Navy SEAL, about Navy SEALs going in and doing something, and he played himself in the movie. I was like, wait a second. So I saw the movie. It was there. It was that's some crazy shit. So that's a part of my life I'll never forget. When I went to get surgery, they were like, I remember talking to me, and one of the nurses was like, yo, you were in a Outlaw Tattoo magazine. So the girl's talking to me. I'm stabbed and sticking Q-tip in me, and I'm butt naked. My dick is this big for getting stabbed. She's like telling me, like, I saw you in the magazine. I'm like, yo, fucking, like, whatever. And then the doctor's like, all right, Danny, you're going to count to 10. I was like, yo, 10. I woke up. I was like, what the fuck happened? Dude? And my boy MQ was there waiting for me. And I was like, yo, he went to surgery. And the doctor who saved me was like, came out, he's like, we'll sitting down, we're talking. He's like, he was best friends from the guy, one of the guys from the band he went to school with the guys from the Queers, the punk band, the Queers. So he was talking to punk rock guys. The doctor saved my life from St. Vincent's Hospital. It's no more, but in the city. But they saved my life, man. And I always they were like, yo, you would have been dead. You mean like you came later dead? And I was like, there is a God. I mean, and my friend got hit by a car, and they saved him. Like they like, oh, they're like, what are you doing? I'm from 𝐶𝐵𝐺𝐵s, and my friend was like Zach, who plays guitar Scarhead. They were talking about me. They're like, yo, we had a guy that played a guy named 𝐃𝐽𝐬𝐬𝐿. They're like, that's my boy. He goes, well, he almost died. So it's funny to hear these stories from him. So.
And this was shortly after you.
Right after the Signal Hall, right when I came home, I got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then when did Crown of Thorns happen?
When I was in the hospital. My boy Franklin from my neighborhood, Jack Snipes, he's like, yo, this guy Mike was do a band. And he was playing in a band called Show of Force. And they came to my hospital to visit me. Then when I got out of the hospital, we just started writing, like, going to practices. This back in the days. Like, so then we put out an EP in 94. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, we started playing in 93. My first show ever was Halloween in 1993. Mm-hmm. Then 94, we put out an EP. Then we put out the album out in 96.
And what bands inspired you back then?
Oh my God, this is really crazy. People get mad when I don't say the right word, right to the other bands. Killing Time inspired me. Sheer Terror, Agnostic Front, Suicidal Tendencies, definitely. Mike Muir is one of my favorite vocalists. Ozzy, Dio, what's other band? But yeah, like Quicksand, stuff like that. Like
they just played recently.
Yeah, I love those bands. But
Sergio was actually playing with the Deftones for a while.
Yeah,
no,
I'm good friends with Sergio. Sergio, my boy.
Great bass player. Another thing. So you put Crown of Thorns together.
Yeah.
Started. You had Vinny Stigma, and you were part of this movement already.
Vinny Stigma always let us stay at his house when we were young. He's from Mott Street, Italy. So his mother lived downstairs. He had his own apartment, and then when his mother passed away, his own apartment. His girlfriend lived upstairs when we were younger. So he used to be like, just take the house. Oh, we used to take. We were kids. We'd take his clubhouse. He'd be at his girlfriend's house, whatever. So me, Freddie, him, rest in peace. We used to hang out in the house all the time, and it was only like 2 blocks from 𝐶𝐵𝐺𝐵s. So we used to go matinees, come hang out. It was crazy, but Vinny and Roger from Nash Front really like brought us up and like showed us how it is to do music and the business of the band. Roger right now is playing shows, and he had 2 forms of cancer. He has a stent in his heart. He just beat cancer. And he's playing every day. So
and he looks.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm over here, my back hurts. Meanwhile, this guy has beat cancer, beat a heart attack. All has been locked up, jail. Cuban dude. He's out there and he's killing it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's fun of doing it. Those are real role models.
Right, and those the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side, yeah.
𝐶𝐵𝐺𝐵s. How was New York back then? And the
fucked up. All fucked up. And Roger's from Jersey originally. Yeah, like Newark or something. Like, then he, going back and forth. So it helps out because when you're younger, when you look at these bands, you would think that these bands are all these crazy white guys. But Roger's Cuban, Madball's a horrible mix, Colombian and Cuban. Imagine that. So these bands go.
There's a big Hispanic contribution. We're all
Latino. Everyone Latino, and a lot
of people don't even know that.
People are like, I don't consider like white people. I consider like Italian, Portuguese, Brazil, all Latin. You mean that's even Spain with the way they act. They don't want to say the Latin.
Well, they're Latin countries. They're Latin European countries.
Latin European, but all come from Latin.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying
Latin front.
And that's why we all have that macho, whatever, like charisma. Like, hey, we're very into, like, we're very loving, and we talk from our hearts. You know what I mean?
Very passionate about
everything, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
Cooking, fucking reading, writing, the literature. We're all passionate about what we do. And that's a Latin trait, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so that's it. And I always tell
soul.
that.
It's their soul.
So it's good.
Well, actually, because I'm
Portuguese, I'm saying. It's the way like, we do everything we love and we show it. We're very respectful, too. We talk to people respectfully. We talk to people how we want to be spoken to.
Right. And New York, hardcore has a little bit of soul. Yeah. It's not just like like other bands were doing back then, or the Straight Edge movement, or
California's like that, straight like. When we came in, we brought that soul and that groove. I mean, it's all groove. I mean, so that's it.
And it shows. So you're saying that New York was intense, and Crown of Thorns started playing shows. Do you remember that haha moment that you felt, well, maybe there's something here for me to consider? And I think that Crown of Thorns is going to be the next big thing. Or
yeah, you want to hear something funny? I never told the story, everyone. So I played a place called Tramps. Puff Daddy used to go there all the time, and it was a big show. I forgot who played, but Crown Thorns, we played. It was like so I invited my mother and my father to just, I was like, why am I doing this? But I got to show them that like Crown Thorns is blowing up. It was a big show, sold out the city. And my mom came, my father came, and we sat down there, everyone guarding him. And all of a sudden, after the show, my mom was like, oh, the music was great. The vocals was a little crazy. Then my father came, and I said, Mom, thank you so much. I kissed her and walked out. My father came and he looked at me and goes, you never make money doing this. I'll see you at work Monday. Bye-bye. He walked away, and he was kind of right, because he worked. He said, you never make any money doing this shit. Yeah, he goes, I'll see you at work Monday. And he worked for Chalmers Industries, the biggest liquor distributor. He was a cop, but he retired when he's had security. So I worked on the liquor trucks, delivering liquor in New York City. But yeah, he was right. I should have stayed. I was a union bricklayer, and I was a teamster. I should have stayed in the union and made money, and I would have had fucking nice teeth and fucking a house already. But I live in a 1-bedroom in fucking Jersey City, and a whack cat and a fucking retarded dog by myself now. So, but do
you have any regrets of that lifestyle? Sometimes do you think I would have loved to have more of a stability?
Yeah, insurance. You know what I mean? Like I would have loved to stay in school, stuff like that. But then again, it's like this. How about the guy who never did drugs, never partied, never fucked girls, and he just works out all the time? You heard about that guy? He got hit by a bus yesterday. He goes, anything can happen.
Right.
So live life, enjoy life, and it sucked. You could, like the Karis once said, he said, hey, if you don't like your job, there's plenty of other jobs, but just pick one that you like. Right? I'm like, oh shit, like before, like, it's like, I know people are miserable at work, and they only get 1 week off a year, and then they wait, and then they're like, I know guys who are union guys who I work construction work, like they work. The wife's like, yo, you gotta make money. They work union. They don't come home. Then all of a sudden they buy a house, everything. Then their wife they come home. The wife's banging some guy in the house. Then they get divorced. They have to live. When they have kids, they have to live in a basement while some guy's upstairs banging their wife, driving their car, fucking, and then they get kicked out. They're gonna be in a Motel 6 with a hot plate. Meanwhile, the new BMW, the new house with the wife with the new boyfriend that was 20 years younger than you.
Right.
That's life.
It is, and that's
life,
and that's a choice. And as I said, one of the things that I respect about you, not only you're very talented, but you're just very coherent, and that's your choice, and you make the best of it.
You try.
And that's the thing, but sometimes people don't even understand. Crown of Thorns and your band and Scarhead, and you're pretty legendary. Like you really shaped the scene a lot.
I think that, but I also think this is what I learned from one of my friend Esteban Orio, one of the famous photographers and video guys in the world. My boy for years. We always laugh. Underground, I'm underground, but underground means underpaid, and we all have to pay. This place needs the rent has to be paid so we can do this. I mean, and a lot of people look at us because I'm an underground guy, like, oh, don't worry, I'll do this for free. And I'm always nice to everyone. Like my lady was telling me, yeah, you're too nice. You charge people. People pay money for stuff like this. And I'm like, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, but the reason why people love me is I do good things, just not because karma. I do it because that's all I like. Because I'm like the same thing. Like, I'm always cool with people. I never paid to get on a record with somebody. You know, so help your rappers pay other rappers to be on the thing. I Everlast, Tim Armstrong, Rancid, fucking Travis Barker signed me. I never paid money.
Travie Mccoy featured.
Travie Mccoy from The Class Heroes just did a video with me.
With Scarhead.
With Scarhead. And I was like, how much you want? He said, now records like, you fucking crazy? We're boys. And I was like, yo, that was fucking 10 years ago. It was $15,000 or something like that. So everyone, Dante Ross did my beats. He did Brand Nubian. He did Everlast. He did fucking Tell the fucking 𝐃𝐝𝐲𝐬𝐿. I worked with it's all love. All the whole music is always love. If once they pay money, stuff like that, it's like I wouldn't even know what to do. But then again, back in then, record companies used to give me money to do that, right? So like I do everything independent. Right? So.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit of that experience. You went from New York to LA for a little bit, and you worked with Travis Barker.
Yeah, I 2005. 2005, I got signed to LaSalle Records. It was Travis Barker's label. I was the first person on it, so it was cool. He gave me $40,000 to do an EP, and he gave me my masters back. Usually, someone owes your masters, they own your masters forever. You know what I mean? He gave them back to me. Usually I go to court and fight for them. He gave them right back to me. A lot of people don't know, Travis Barker is a fucking good guy. He's a fucking amazing drummer. He's like the new Tommy Lee. You know what I mean? Like, or the drum-wise. That dude can play drums, amazing, but he's a great human being and a good friend. And he's been through a lot in his life, and he deserves all the fucking wealth and fame that he gets because he's a good guy. You know what I mean? That guy didn't have to do nothing for me. That guy helped me out. Helped me out in my career. And I will always be here, like, hold that. I owe him something. I don't care. He said, no, I still, Travis, give me a call if you need me to fucking do something. I got your back. Fucking anything can happen with the world he's living now. So good luck. Congratulations, him and the Kardashians. He's married now. His kids are cool. He has the best family. Much love to you, Travis. I love you, brother.
Because I remember when we played the Diablos Fest, I remember there's some sort of involvement Travis Barker.
Yeah, he did the famous. They sponsored me, the shirts, and I did the shirts, yeah.
He was the main sponsor.
Yeah, main sponsor, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And I remember when I met you, because, I've played with Justina Valentine, and I grew up in Portugal, as I was telling you, and we're going to get there, that you played in Portugal and also traveled the world. And I remember that all these bands like Madball, Agnostic Front, Sick of It All, even H2O, a lot of them were pretty big. Around the Thornz. So like you guys really, you guys are international stars of the punk hardcore scene and impacted bands like even Soulfly, like �K𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿, like, so and all of a sudden years later, here's me in the States, and I came to pursue a dream and to be still involved with music and maybe hopefully take it to a different level in a bigger country.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I played at your festival. I was like, it felt like some sort of like completing the circle. Like the bands that once inspired me as well. Now I'm being a part of the local movement.
That's cool. That's a cool feeling because other bands, like I said, growing up, I love Iron Maiden, right? I love Dio.
They just played recently.
Yeah. So my thing is this: in the New York hardcore scene, you're face to face at CBGB's with the guy outside. He's drinking water, and you're a little kid, and you see Roger or singers from any other band like Paul from Sheer Terror or Anthony for Killing Time. All my favorite bands, Timmy from Maxwell Penalty, Sick of It All. You see them outside, the band members, and you can talk to them. You can't do that with the singer from Iron Maiden or any Ozzy. Hey, Ozzy, like they have security in the ring. It's like a more close interaction.
And even in the way you guys play, you guys are on stage. Everybody's always stage dancing and dancing with you, and you guys welcome that. It's not like, no, this is my song. Don't even come close.
People.
You guys are all about.
That's what we grew up on. So it's like. To me, that's what I love. I mean, we say like you're more intimate with the crowd, and it's more of like cause and response, like gang vocals and stuff like that. And people really like. I stop when I walk. My girl used to hate this. I walk, and if someone says, "Danny, what's up?" I stop and talk to them. You know what I mean? I can understand when you're older, like you're a bigger band. Like when I used to go with Hatebreed with Jamie Joster. Shout out to Jamie Joster. Was my manager for like a few years. Poor guy. He got sober after he managed me. So Jamie Joster, we used to walk and people were like, hey, Breed, their fans are fucking like the worst fans are Slayer fans, Hatebreed fans, Pantera fans, and the Juggalos. Those are like the worst fans. They come on, they come running in. So I used to be like, he'd be like, let's get the fuck out of here. They're gonna be crazy, like white trash fans. It was funny. But I stop and talk to my fans because if it wasn't for them, there'd be no me. You know what I mean? Like, and I see fans get really dissed by people, and they really take that to heart. So I'm
always very thankful.
Yeah, I'm thankful that someone listens.
And I remember when we played, that's exactly how I feel. It's just very welcoming, and you like to balance your festival with. It was a hardcore band, hip hop band, hardcore band, hip hop act, and people learn everything like DMS, gangs and stuff, and really thug and shit, really intense and stuff. And when I got there, it was a bunch of DMS members. Everybody was just family friendly. I barely there's no mosh pit. Yeah, everybody's just like just supporting it. Danny, it's like a family community thing.
That's what it is. Like, sometimes
super safe, super cool, super civilized.
Sometimes people who are normal people understand, but someone's drunk or fucked up, or someone's acting like a jerk.
But that could be
anywhere. That could be on your block. You know? Right. Like they get regulated. Hey, don't stop being an asshole. You know, that's it. Some people got to talk a little bit more. Some people get a smack in the face. But that as you get older, it's like, oh God, you know, like if someone's acting like a dick over 25 years old, they have to get smacked in the face. You know what's going to happen. So it's just as adults, just behave and act like adults. Right? That's all.
All right. So now you also have your own record label. You also produce your stuff. But other than that, you've also been a model. You modeled and
when I was younger. Now I'm got my fucking I look horrible. But yeah,
you still look good. What about acting?
Acting. It's so crazy because the acting thing is. I did a movie called Priceless like 2 years ago before COVID with my friend Peter Green, famous actor. I mean, he was dead in Pulp Fiction.
He was also very involved with you guys.
Yeah, he's my boy. He's my roommate for 5 years in LA too. I'm talking about me and this guy. I'm talking Peter Green is one of the best actors in the world. You know what I mean? So one time I was with what's his name, Mickey Rourke. And we're talking. And I was looking at Mickey Rourke. And he turns to me and goes, what's up with Peter? I said, he's at the house. Come out soon. He goes, that guy is one of the best actors in the world. He goes, but he has demons. I was like, if Mickey Rourke says that, oh my God, this nigga's fucked up. Peter Green is fucked up, bro. But Peter Green, I love you. He's going to be like, fuck you. You watch this every day too? Peter, I love you. And you are the best actor in the world, right? But Peter Green,
we gotta bring Peter Green here.
Do we want that? Do you want Peter Green here? No, Peter Green.
Let's hear his side of the story.
Yeah, Peter Green. Listen, he has stories about me. But Peter Green just did a movie with William Dafoe like 2 weeks ago, and William Dafoe told Peter Green to write his scene, and he did it. So he's happy. He's one of the best actors in the world, and his mother lives here in Pleasantville, in Jersey. He's from Hell's Kitchen in Jersey.
So in addition to your acting career and being obviously a badass hardcore singer.
And a supermodel.
And of course, especially the supermodel, as you can tell. You also paint. And you also sell your art.
Yeah.
And you found your art as a means to obviously, get more money. And you were telling me, Carlos, you know what? If this was years ago, I'd probably feel like a sellout. But But you don't have to feel like a sellout.
No,
you need money to survive, and you're a pretty talented artist.
When I got signed to Travis Barker, a lot of people like, why Blink-182? What the fuck? I was like, especially guys in my scene. And I turned around and said, "Yo, give me $40,000." I said, "This guy gave me $40,000, paid for me to move out from Queens. I got a van, a touring van, and I had no money. And my father's mother just died, and my mother's like, yo, listen, there's $10,000 there for you." And I was like, Ma, I said, I'll take $5, put $5 for you, and whatever you need for music, like whatever. So I took $5,000, first time I ever got money from anything in my life. You know what I mean? And I went out there. I spent $5,000 in 1 month on cocaine and fucking hookers. And it was the best time of my life. I was going fucking crazy. Yo, I was like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I was like, I had my rent paid. I was like, going, and everyone would see me. It would be like me walking into a hardcore show, like a big hardcore show. It would be like me, fucking Dan Aykroyd, fucking Michelle Rodriguez, fucking, it was all like who else? Slain. And I would go to these places, and with Peter Green, 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐬𝐿𝐿, shout out to DJ Lethal from Limp Bizkit, is one of my good friends. And I started working with Lethal. He did a few of my songs. And
when was this? Back then?
2005. You know? Mm-hmm. Lethal did one of the songs on the EP called "Get Down," and Danny Boy for House of Pain was the one that actually showed me how the music scene was back then. Danny Boy stopped doing music, and he started doing music with me. Then Everlast, and shout out to 𝐃𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿 from Lords of Brooklyn. So me and 𝐃𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿 were working with Danny Boy, and these guys were doing songs together. Then we got House of Pain back together. We got them back together. They got back together. Then they formed 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐻. And I was doing the Shop Blockers, which was with Big Left, and that became into 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐻. 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐻 became the biggest thing in underground hip hop. Mm-hmm. And me and 𝐃𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿 had a lot to do with that, and I'm happy. And Big Left became was in 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐻, Danny Boy, Ill Bill. I started working with Necro, and it started getting crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like Necro to me and Necro doing the hard underground music, but we're from a metal and a punk rock background. We were touring hard too. Me and Necro started touring hard. Mr. Hyde, Ill Bill, Vinny Paz, and so me doing fucking hardcore, doing rap started a whole new genre of it was like my thug, like I was doing rap, but I'm not a rapper like that. I'm a hardcore rapper. You know what I mean? Like a hardcore gangster rapper. You know what I mean? So
Scam Dust.
I created Scam Dust. We mixed with it. Scam Dust, my brother. Shout out to Scam Dust. Scam Dust actually just drove me from New Orleans to back to Jersey. So he picked us up at the end of the tour. We did a video with Mike 𝐃𝐲𝐬𝐿𝐴. It's out right now called Three Kings and John Salinas from Sardinia. Mm-hmm. So we did a record, and Scam Dust picked us up. Me and we had such a great time. The video's out now. It's called Three Kings. So it was cool, man. Scam Dust is my brother, and he's a great musician, but he is one of the funniest guys in the world. But we're from the same neighborhood. Oh my God.
Super cool, super talented too.
Super crazy.
So you guys created the whole scene in New York.
Yeah.
And how do you feel now, all these years that you've traveled the world, that you took that spirit of that youth of New York? You
know what I feel right now? I built up such a fucking empire with stuff, but right now I'm like, being sober, now I can do everything. I can help out all the bands that are like Concrete Dream that I signed. I got them signed to Suburban Noise Records. So I went out last year, took them to LA, a tour with them, and I got them signed to Suburban Noise. So get them out of the nest. I can't. Suburban Noise is a bigger label, and they can help you out where you need to be helped out. I'm not good of a manager because I only know few things. Like you talk to me a certain way, I'm gonna punch you in the face. You mean I don't want to be like that. As a manager, you gotta be calm and cool. You mean say, hey, can't. So I was like these young kids, especially if you're in a band and a young kid, you can think you're the shit. You don't understand the world works differently. So my thing is this: I'll help you wherever, but I'm not a manager. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll be the face.
I want to deal with them.
I'll be the face of the management company. You know what I'm saying? But would you want me to do your taxes? No, right? Would you want me to do anything business wise? No, right? So I'm trying. My thing is, I got people working for me doing that. You know? But I make executive decisions. But my thing is that I do E-Train Records right now, and I helped out so many people in their careers. And a lot of people have done me wrong. I don't want to say done me wrong, purposely. But this way, in their life, they just use me as a stepping stone and going, and never really paid back their favors. I always so a lot of people have come back and have been like, hey, thank you for that. I just want to thank you. And acknowledgments that I helped you. That's the thing that hurts me the most when people don't acknowledge. They're like, yo, listen, I put you on, and you can't put I put you on, and you just did a whole world tour. You didn't ask me to open up for the tour. Right. That to me is a slap in the face. Right. And my thing is, I just want to help people out who deserve to be helped out. I mean,
and you're definitely in a position to do so. You participated in a song with H2O called "Nothing to Prove." It was like an homage to to the scene. That was you, Freddie Maple, all the main guys.
My dog's in that video. Right, my kid and my dog. Right, I was like,
that's your dog.
Yeah, my dog.
And do you still think that you have anything to prove?
I got a lot to myself. Yeah.
Like what?
I did all right, so right now, there's a movie called Priceless that we won 8 awards for. 8 awards. But I couldn't, during COVID, I couldn't go to any of the awards because of COVID. So I missed all the red carpet stuff. But I got 8 awards, and I got 1 big award in my house. And it's for the best duo, me and Peter Green, best duo working together for one of these the festivals, the X-Indie Label Festival. And I can't believe I won this award. I never took an acting lesson in my life. And my friends hate me because they all go to acting school, and they're like the guy who sells, the guy who sells the hot dogs in the movie. They're the guy behind the guy, the hot dog, holding the newspaper in front of the face. So I'm like, yo, man, and they've been working their whole life to become an actor, and meanwhile I'm winning awards. And they're like, yo, I fucking hate you. So, but it's just, life is funny. You gotta laugh and shit like that. So yeah, I got something to prove. I'm doing a real scene next week for this independent movie, and the guy wrote this part for me. So I'm like, oh man, so I can't fuck this up. He's like this guy. So I got to show, and it talks about Jackson Heights and everything. So I got to show the world where I'm from. Then I got a TV show. It's on Tubi, on the Tubi network, called Crash the System from Kamal Ahmed. Kamal is the Jerky Boys. If you know the Jerky Boys, Kamal's a hardcore kid. He's out of his mind. I love Kamal. I love you, but Kamal is my boy, and he's like, yo, I got you all next season. Everyone loves your character. My character, he made me a rap guy, called Randy Roach Trap. I know he did it to fuck with me. You know what I mean? So, but now everyone loves his character, and I got to do it next month. In 2 weeks, I got to do like four shoots, and I'm really nervous about that because I got to really act. You know what I mean? I killed it the first one, the first four shows, killed it, and the people love it, so they brought the character back. So I know if I do this and kill it, that it will open up the floodgates for me acting.
Good for you. So then, with the actors, that's your next.
Yeah. But actors are crazy because they're acting all the time.
Right.
But Peter Green is my brother, but he can act.
But I'm pretty sure you can act too, because the thing is, throughout these years, you always
I can act. You know why I can act? Because I was married once, so I can act.
But you've always performed in front of people. That's like a performer. So like, you know.
But still, I still get
just transition to it.
My thing is this. My thing, I played in front of a tour, some places, be 40 people in a bar. But still 40 people going crazy. I go to Europe, I played in front of 5,000 people in a tent, a festival next to Beyonce. I mean, the Destiny's Child. I mean, it'll be crazy. It'll be like Beanie Man, Destiny's Child, Atari Teenage Riot, and fucking Scarhead. I'll be like, hey, and I'll be like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? But people love the music, and I always do the same show, no matter what, 4 people to 4,000 people. I put all my whole heart into it because that kid paid money to get into there, and he saved up, especially in Europe. They work all fucking month for a ticket to see fucking Scarhead. I gotta give them a fucking show. You meet those kids. Everyone goes to shows for one reason: to escape reality for a few hours. That's it.
And you feel that sense of responsibility.
Yes, it's fucked up. Yes.
And now sober, are you afraid of what you might find?
I never played a show sober in my fucking life.
Are you scared?
I got played this Friday a Halloween party for all the dudes in Brooklyn, and my whole neighborhood's coming out there. And all these guys, all graffiti writers, the gangsters. They're like, we're gonna get fucked up. I'm like, here it goes. I got played.
That's the ultimate test.
Ultimate test. But that's Danny Diablo. They got DJ. Because I DJ also for my friend the whole night. So when I DJ, that's all I did was like fucking coke, ecstasy, Molly. You know what I mean? So now everyone's staring at me, know I'm sober. So and I know some of my friends would be like, just put the beer there, put coke down, they're gonna fuck with me. So I'm like, that's good. But the day
you think you're ready for that test? You're gonna resist?
I don't think you're ready. I just had to go head first. But Sunday, I'm doing a Halloween party in Jersey, in Kearney, with us Scarhead. It'll be the first Scarhead show sober. That's the real test.
It's gonna be this Sunday?
This Sunday.
Hardcore show. Going on.
Our Scarhead show, you know?
Hardcore.
Yeah, but I'm in Jersey, so I'll probably just jump out, go right get my money and just bounce. Anyway, go take a cab right home.
In terms of music, so people, in case they don't know, you have Crown of Thornz, Scarhead.
Yeah.
I speak with this whole situation in LA with the guys from Hatebreed.
Yeah.
Also hip hop, the Shot Blockers, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿, FTW.
FTW. It's crazy. FTW.
I did my homework.
Yeah, FTW was me, this kid, Tony Slippers, a script keeper. The 2 kids from Long Island. Tony Slippers is on 𝐃𝐄 Records with me. Script keeper. Shout out to script keeper. He's a dope rapper, but he's more focused on politics. He's like one of those Trump guys, crazy, and fucking, he looks like Kevin Bacon. But he's dope. So he does his things. Tony Slippers still works for me. Jerry X from Dead Crew.
You also played with me.
Yeah, he told me that's great. Shout out to Jerry X. Jerry X is on Ill Rock Records, which is my old label.
With Dead Crew.
Yeah, I signed Diggy, basically, who does all my mixing and helps me out over here. Diggy owns Ill Rock now, but Ill Rock is with my label. Dead Crew's on it. Jerry X is good. I'm putting out on 𝐃𝐄 Records. We put Concrete Dream out already, but we're putting Tony Slippers out. The GLD casting company is me, Lord Jewess, and Chubbs. Well, chubby guy, Chubbs, dope rap Italian kid. He's dope. He's on 𝐃𝐄 Records. Tony Slippers on 𝐃𝐄 Records. West Nile from Newark, he's on 𝐃𝐄 Records. I'm doing an EP with him called Father and Son. We're putting out a video, a single out in 2 weeks. I'm working with Piss Mob, who's on 𝐃𝐄 Records. I have a whole record with them. Danny Diablo versus Piss Mob. The single is called Jesus Was a Jew. So that's funny. It's just people are like, what the fuck is that about? But it's a cool title. That's gonna do that. Who else? And that's it. Those are the only people I'm working with. And the Force 5 guys, like the DRP, Jason Logic, Prolific, King Relic, Rick Dog. And that's it. Those guys. I mean, so like Force 5 Records. 𝐃𝐄 Records, Force 5 Records is the label that signed me as an artist, and they signed the last Scarhead. We have a new record called Scarhead EP called Generators of Violence, which is you can get on online, Spotify, all digital outlets, and that album, that EP came out like 3 months ago, and it's doing great. It's doing great. We got Travie Mccoy from Gym Class Heroes on it. We got Lars Fredrickson of Rancid on it, which is my brother. Lars is one of my brothers. We got 𝐃𝐲𝐬𝐬𝐿 from Show Me the Body on it too. So and Alan Dutch's mixed and mastered it, and fucking that's great. But it's like music. I keep on doing music. I'm actually supposed to give Tim Armstrong. Shout out to Tim Armstrong from Rancid. He produced my International Hardcore Superstar album in 2012. I'm talking to him. So pretty soon we're gonna be doing some new music together also. So,
Is there any throughout these years? Do you have any favorite countries that you've played that were like, wow, what?
I tell you, the craziest places. I always love going to Japan. Japan, the fans. I've been going to Japan since '97.
You guys are pretty big in Asia, right? Indonesia. Also.
Yeah, they fucking love anything. Though, it's funny because like those Japan or Southeast Asia, they'll take what we do, like a T-shirt, make it better. You know, they do everything so much cooler.
They see what's going on in the West. They're like, let me just make. They go extra hard. A punk rocker in Japan is even way more punk rocker than anybody.
But they're true. But also Japan is crazy because they love hip hop. And when I first went to Japan, I would walk in and just sit there, and it'd be like a girl looking like the Fugees. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wait, that girl, her hair was like black girl hair. So I was like, what the fuck is going on over here? Then when I was going to Japan, I remember the first time I went to Japan, I did a show with Hoist Gracie. That's how big I was in Japan. It was the Gracies and me. We were talking about music. We did a show together because I was on Warp magazine in Japan. I was on the cover. I was like, I had my own baseball card out there back in the day. So we all hang out. Then I would go down. I was like, yo, what's going on here? Then I remember one time my boy Kengo won Pride like twice. And so I used to train with them at Shibuya. And Shamrock would be there and all these guys. And it would be a big dude. It'd be on a little moped. You know, it's just funny. But then I see that there's mad Brazilian people there that work there. There's a whole Brazilian,
the biggest community of Brazilian
in Japan.
Outside of Brazil.
And also when the president of the president of Chinito was I forgot the president. He was what country it was. If I was saying Japan, they'll be Japanese mixed with Brazilian. They'll be like girls. They'll be like, oh my God. They're like super like a bottle. They'll be like, oh my God. Like it seems to be quiet right there. But they have Brazilian, half Japanese. Mm-hmm. And I'll be bugging. I'll be like, look, Puerto Rican. I mean, they're crazy. Like, what's going on? Girl.
So Japan was cool.
Japan's always been cool. People are so nice. That's what I don't understand. Like the people are so nice. And they're like bowing and you talk. I mean, I got
respectful.
I got friends in Japan for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Throughout these years of you being like an internationally recognized rock star, one of the founding members of the scene too, what has been the best part of all of this?
The friendships. It's like, how can I say? Like I don't make a lot of money at all, you know. So it'll be like, I'll be like, oh, I got my car broke down. I need a thing. All of a sudden, boom, yo, bro, I work for so and so. I'll send you the carburetor tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? You're like, or like two. Well, yo, I work for the fucking oral doctor, the oral surgeon. Come down tomorrow. So making all those connections with people through music, hardcore punk, that's saved my life. You know what I mean? It's like the coolest things in the world, man. Like I saw that. It's like it's still what I have. Like it's like waking up every day knowing that people love my music. People want to love what I'm doing. It trips me out sometimes. You know, like it's like sometimes I don't deserve this. I mean, like I'm not. I didn't go to school. I'm not smart. You know what I mean? I'm not. Even in construction, I'm more a fucking laborer. Fucking like I'm not a guy who let me fix the flux capacitor. You know what I mean? I'm not an engineer. I mean, But then I
So
see
you're a passionate, real person.
Yeah, but the real passionate, the people that should deserve that is the person who's the EMT who doesn't get that much money, or the school teacher got to deal with fucking assholes all day, or people that get mad at me, or the cop. You know, people hate cops now. Listen.
You gotta respect.
Listen.
If you have a problem, you're gonna call who?
I want to tell you as a person who most of my life a career criminal. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, and I grew up. My father was a cop. And whenever I get locked up with someone, whenever something bad happens to me, I don't say, "Oh, why is this happening to me?" I know why it happened. It's called karma, and I'm just happy. Stab. I'll walk away and be like, "Oh, I don't even ask questions." It was like, I'm alive. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that this world, all these guys from the fuck police and all this stuff. Like, I got my abuela or someone. Like, what? I can't protect my grandmother in Spanish Harlem. You mean I'm in Japan? You mean so? See, I want a cop over there to go to protect the thing. I know that all cops are all people. Cops are just like people. They have a job. A lot of people, they want the benefits, great benefit. It's like we all have our problems. We all have our crosses to bear. And we can't just say all those people suck. Or this way they have me fucking fucked up. You mean? Like, you mean?
Right.
Just think about it. Think of how people talk about other people, and it's just bad. Being Jewish and Puerto Rican, my whole life, people fucking hate Jews and people hate Puerto Ricans. I'm not straight up. People are fucking Jew, right? Fucking dirty Puerto Rican, and I make jokes about it. But it's, all my friends, we all make jokes about what we are. But that's how it is, life. You mean? People are fucked up.
Would you have done things differently knowing what you know today throughout this path? And what would you change?
I don't know.
If anything.
It's like, who knows? I tell you, maybe I would have stayed in school, but I couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? School never caught me like that. What I love doing, it's like, if you love doing something, you're going to do it. If you hate doing something, you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? That's why people hate the jobs. If you go, all you have to go to the post office in Jersey City, you see the fucking people like, they hate the jobs.
Right. Or DMV. There's also DMV.
DMV is like, whenever I go to DMV, it's like Rikers Island to me. It's like, just say
like, do you think you're going to hate this job? Yes, you're hired. I don't know, there's got to be something.
I'm like, no, it's like when you go to McDonald's in the city and the girls act like an asshole to you. I say, I didn't tell you to get pregnant at 14 or fucking hate me. But like, I didn't tell you to work at McDonald's, but this is your choice. You know what I mean? Like my choice. I'm a hardcore thing. I deal with it. I don't make that much money, but be nice to someone. The world is nice if you open the door and say thank you. And say, how you doing? Oh, thank you for that. Yo, thank you for helping me with the camera. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for bringing me to breakfast. People don't like saying thank you no more. People think it's people that there's no more. They don't teach their kids to say thank you or hold the door, sit down. The pregnant lady, let the pregnant lady sit down. You mean they don't do it no more?
Right.
It's gone.
Mm-hmm. So you were telling me about a documentary. What can we expect from Danny Diablo in the near future? You told me Diablo's Den, but you're also telling me about a documentary.
I got a podcast called Diablo's Den Podcast. That's where it comes from. And we 2 years we've been killing it, and but it's as everything else. Sometimes I think I'm gonna do something else. You know, but Diablo's Den is gonna be a home of cuts, tattoos, music, art. It's going to be a record store. I'm moving to Milwaukee. It's also, the world's different now. These young kids, no one goes outside to play anymore. When we were young, we were playing outside all the time. We got dirty, played soccer, football, fucking baseball. I played basketball my whole life. These young kids is on video games. They're like disconnected. They're not connected to like society. Mm-hmm. Everything's on the phone. You take the phone, they bug out.
Right.
You know? But
you're bringing Diablo's Den there?
I'm bringing Milwaukee. I'm going to bring a place where if I always think of this. If I was in high school and I'm getting to know who I am, I can get the new music there. I can get all the graffiti supplies there. I get the cool shirts there. I can get the fucking new vinyl. I can get find out where the shows are playing. I can get art and all the new bands. So it's going to be a hub for a scene out there. Mm-hmm. I think the kids will love that because it's all together.
Mature Danny Diablo, the entrepreneur, the still living legend and going strong. What can your fans and people that truly have you as a reference can expect from you? Still,
I'm still gonna do hard music. I'm gonna do more of the acting. I expect everything I said in life that I wanted to do later on, I did. I said to myself when I was young, when I'm 36 years old, I'm gonna have a kid. It's the same age as my father, and I had a kid the same age as my father as they had me. That's crazy. I said that I'm gonna stop doing drugs when I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. Stop doing drugs. I said I'm gonna tour the world. I toured the world. I said everything I put my mind to, I did it. You know? But now I gotta do something that I never thought I was gonna be able to do. To become an adult. You know what I mean? I've been doing everything underground, from hand to hand. Now I got get the fucking. I don't even have a bank account. I've been using everything underground cash. So now I'm going to do everything to be a real record company. Everything's going to be done the right way, and I'm going to feel like accomplished, like human being. Like right now, I'm making jokes or all stuff like. When I joke a lot, doesn't say, but my jokes are like a little bit real because I can laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been there and I've done that. And anyone who's been, anyone who laughs a little bit at jokes or something, because they understand because they did that. They've been in somewhere in that area. So when I don't know what the world's gonna have. I just really want to find this. When I go out there, peace of mind, and I just want to tour the world hard. I want to go harder because I want to go out there and do my business. Then I don't have to be in the clubs anymore. I don't have to be in the streets anymore. All I care about is watching Netflix and watching a documentary or a movie or a fucking, you know what I mean? Like a TV show and just enjoy life. I want to enjoy life more. Every time it's always doing something while I'm on the road, or I bring my girl out when I'm on the road and we'll see the world thing. But I want to do it just me and that certain person. But the next woman in my life, the next level of I don't know what's going on. Me and my shout out to Alexandra Rose. We were together 7 years. We separated. I don't know what's going on, but I just wanted to be with the person I love and just treat them right. I never treated anyone out that I loved the right way.
Maybe you were scared. Maybe.
Nah, fuck that. I was an asshole. I was just being a Puerto Rican macho man asshole. So my thing was fuck you, I'm who I am, 𝐃𝐽𝐬𝐜𝐿. Fuck that. I worked, I did this, I did this.
Maybe you regret that.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like the last stuff I don't regret. And I was thinking to myself, I was kind of a dick. So last time I was looking back, I know that it's a two-way street, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's hard to have a relationship, but everything was about me and about my life because I'm fit that that's all I got. Right. So how am I gonna let a woman in and tell me what to do after there's a woman with no matter how much we love everything, one day if they don't feel right, they're gonna leave you. And it's you had to be by myself. That's the worst thing in the world I could feel. And now I'm by myself. And I gotta deal with that. I gotta deal with me as Danny, as 𝐸𝐸𝐿, whatever. I gotta love myself more, deal with myself, to be with myself. Maybe that's why I was never with myself. Because maybe I knew I was kind of dickish. So maybe now I gotta sit there. Now I'm by myself, sober, turn around and see my dog's stupid face and like her cat. She's stuck with the cat. So I'm stuck with these two things. And they're looking at me. I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, all right, guys, it's us three.
Going strong.
All right, I'm going to go get your food, you little motherfuckers, right?
So for people that love your art, where can they find your art and how can they support you?
Go to
it and also all of your social media fans.
I don't really, Facebook, there's a Danny Diablo page and there's a Dan Singer page, my thing. I don't use Facebook. My manager uses all my Facebook stuff. But go on my Danny Diablo page, you find everything. The Scarhead page, the Crown Thornz page on Facebook. There's a Crown Thornz on Instagram, but Danny Diablo, NYHC is my page. I'm every day documenting me being sober, which is fucking crazy. But you see that every day.
But a huge inspiration.
Inspiration for people. Hit me up there. I answer all, this is nothing. I answer all these crazy people. Some people are crazy. You know what I mean? And when I was on drugs, I didn't give a fuck. So it'd be funny. These crazy people hit me back. My girl's like, I told you they're crazy. Don't talk to them. But now, it's hit me up, guys. If If you guys need to talk, if you ask me what I'm doing about staying sober, I'll talk to you and tell you how it really is. I know there's a lot of people every day telling me that thank God what I'm doing, and it's a lot of responsibility. I don't know, I don't know what to say. I mean, because it does scare me. It's the first time I've ever been scared in my life, because it's the first time ever was my son was born. I'm still scared of that, being a father. I mean, that's a scary thing, and I'm just hopefully everything goes to plan, and hopefully by the end of next year that my son will be living with me. I mean, that's my goal. My son living back in my life. My ex-wife seeing that I'm doing everything right in the world. Trying to get back my ex-girlfriend, my girl, whatever. So I hope she's doing her life. She has a lot of things to work on. I got way more things to work on, and hopefully that's my soulmate. Hopefully I'll be back. But if not, I'll move on and just keep on working and keep on doing music and keep on acting, DJing, and be there. Because I'm not gonna sit there and be idle. My father told me this: you gotta keep moving. The day you stop moving, that's the day you die. And I was like, oh shit.
And you've always moved.
Always.
Making sure that your art and your anything you do artistically, it keeps on moving forward. Yeah. Is there also any message that you would like to send to every fan or supporter of the New York hardcore movement throughout the world that also allowed you to live this lifestyle of traveling the world?
I like to say thank you to all the people in New York hardcore, all the fans, because it's a small community, for always having my back. I like to thank all the older guys that taught me, like 𝐾𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿, Roger Moret, John Joseph for the �K𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐿, 𝐃𝐚𝐲𝐿𝐬𝐿 for the Killing Time. The guys who taught me, the 𝐃𝐲𝐬𝐬𝐿, Biohazard, all those guys, Sick of It All, that brought me on the road and stuff like that, and taught me about the world. I like to thank all the guys like Necro, Vinny Paz, Ill Bill, La Coca Nostra, Slain, even Danny Boy for House Pain, Everlast, all those guys, Dante Ross, Steve LaBelle, shout out to Steve LaBelle, love you. Shout out to my whole band of Crown Thornz. And all these guys, thank you for letting me go on the road, showing you that this is my life and this is my business. I want to say to all my fans, thank you for being there for me. And I will try my best not to let you guys down. And I will shout out to the whole DMS Brotherhood for always being there. I know it's crazy. I've been in how many relationships and everyone has left me, but DMS has still been there. So that's a weird thing to say, but it is. So that's another thing in my life that I belong to something that's another part of my life. And sometimes it's hard doing both, but just because I'm sober doesn't mean I'm gonna leave the drugs, my sex guy. You know what you say? So I'm still doing my thing. I like to thank my family. I like to thank Vinny Ali. I like to thank everyone out there, Echo from the Bronx, West Nile, all the E-Train records, Piss Mob. You find my stuff at Danny Diablo NYHC on Instagram. Go on my Instagram, hit me up, and my Twitter, Danny Diablo Twitter. Hit me up anytime. I'll answer all your questions and fucking buy my art, buy my music. Support real. If you're not buying my art music, support someone who's independent. You know what I mean? Someone that does everything by himself. There's a lot of great artists out there that are not underground, and it's like, look, Google, search, but there's something out there for you, and there's someone there for you. So just enjoy life, bro.
Would you like to touch any topic that I didn't ask you? Anything that I didn't ask you you'd like to say? Or I think we got.
Oh no! Go to DannyDiabloMerch.com, and I got New York hardcore streetwear merch. I also got.
You have your own brand?
Yeah, it's called New York Hardcore Streetwear, and we got tons of shit. But also I got Scarhead, Crown Thornz, and Danny Diablo merch there, and CDs for the old people. You know what I mean? Because I still like CDs, looking at the artwork and stuff like that. Yeah.
Touching it.
Yeah.
It's that Puerto Rican you touching it.
That's the thing. I use it for Chinese stars or for coasters, for your food, for the drinks, whatever it is.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother.
You killed it. I wish you all the best. I think you're a living legend, a true inspiration. not only for the fans of punk rock, but also people that like believe in arts. And you're the living proof that it's not easy.
Yeah.
But if you're really passionate about it, you could actually leave a great legacy like you.
I'm trying to.
And I'm sure that you're gonna keep on coming with great stuff and great material and such an honorable contribution.
Thank you.
So this was a great conversation with our great friend Danny Diablo. Support him. He's a true living legend and true inspiration. And another Plusable Talks. Don't forget to follow us, +Plusable_PR on Instagram, and follow our YouTube.
Can I say one thing?
Of course.
Shout out to Jimmy Gestapo, Jimmy G from Murphy's Law. Shout out to Adam22 for No Jumper. Shout out to Necro, Hyde. Shout out to the whole Thug Corps. Everyone, Stress the White Boy, Diggy, just everyone. Toy Slippers, E-Train Records, and that's it. Force Fire Records and DRP. I love you, brother. Peace.
And shout out to my boy Danny Diablo, and keep on supporting independent artists. And stay tuned.
Viva Portugal.
And Viva Portugal.
Lisbon rules.
Don't forget to follow our podcast.
Shout out to Supla.